Police expose secret plot against you. Watch, my child. God says this message is being delivered to you in a moment when the atmosphere around your life is shifting in a way you cannot see with your physical eyes, and Archangel Michael is standing beside you with a shield of divine light because something important must be spoken to your heart right now. There is a seriousness in the spiritual realm, a weight, a deep pulling of truth, and heaven has chosen this exact moment to whisper what was hidden, to reveal what was quietly unfolding, and to protect you from what was silently moving around your life. This is why you were guided to open this. This is why you felt that subtle pressure inside. That sense that something was calling you, because God says an important revelation is opening in front of you now, and Archangel Michael says, I order you to listen. This is not anger, this is urgency born from love, born from protection, born from the divine responsibility heaven carries for you. My child, God says a secret plot was forming around you, something you could not see, something that was planned quietly, something that held intentions that did not align with the purity of your soul. It wasn't meant to reach you, it wasn't meant to harm you, because heaven intervened before anything could manifest in your physical world. You have been protected behind the scenes in ways you still don't understand. And the truth is, you don't even realize that the police, guided by divine timing, uncovered something that was never meant to cross the threshold of your destiny. They saw something, they noticed patterns, they connected pieces that you didn't know existed. But God says, my child, none of it could touch you, because I stepped between you and anything that wished to disturb the peace I created for your life. Archangel Michael says you need to know this because you were doubting yourself. You were feeling strange shifts in your energy. You were feeling something was off around you, but you didn't have logical reasons. You sensed things changing. You sensed people acting differently. You sensed unusual tension in conversations, in certain messages, in certain glances, even in the silence you received from someone. You didn't know how to explain it, but you felt it. And heaven says the reason you felt that subtle disturbance was because something was indeed moving in the background, something that was not aligned with you, something that was meant to pull you into confusion or fear, something that carried a quiet intention to mislead you. But God says, my child, I did not allow it. You need to understand how deeply God loves you, because even before any human hand could interfere, divine protection was already standing around you. Police may have uncovered something, but heaven prevented it from unfolding. And the reason you're being told this now is not to scare you, but to show you how closely God has been watching over you, how many hidden dangers you walked past without even knowing, how many times the spiritual realm intervened in your favor. Heaven wants you to know you are not alone. You were never alone, and the fear that sometimes creeps into your heart has no authority over you when God stands as your fortress. My child, God says, I am showing you this because I need you to trust me more than you trust your eyes. You have been walking with uncertainty, wondering why certain delays happened, wondering why certain people disappeared. Wondering why certain messages were never answered, wondering why your energy felt heavy on certain days even when nothing bad happened externally. Heaven says those delays were protection. Those changes in people's behavior were spiritual redirections. The things that didn't go the way you expected were divine interventions keeping you away from something that could have shaken your peace. Archangel Michael says the police uncovering this secret plot is not just a physical event, it is symbolic of the spiritual exposure taking place in your life. Things that were done behind your back are being brought to light. Lies that were spoken about you are being dissolved. People who misused your kindness are being exposed. Anyone who tried to manipulate something concerning your name is being revealed. And God says, I am clearing your path. I am removing shadows from around you. I am placing you in a season where clarity will replace confusion. This is why heaven keeps emphasizing, don't ignore this message. It is not here to frighten you, it is here to free you. For so long, you have been carrying the weight of uncertainty. You have been wondering who you can trust, wondering who speaks well of you and who does not, wondering why certain people behave in contradictory ways. God says the reason you felt conflicted is because there were energies around you that were not honest, and you were spiritually sensitive enough to feel it even when you weren't consciously aware of it. Your intuition warned you. Archangel Michael whispered to your soul. And now the truth is breaking open. You are entering a season where God is removing every false connection, every harmful intention, every hidden plan against you. Nothing will remain hidden. Nothing will remain in the shadows. Nothing will continue behind your back. Heaven says transparency is coming. Alignment is coming. Justice is coming. And you will finally understand why certain things felt heavy, why certain people felt off, why certain situations didn't sit right with your spirit. The truth will not harm you, it will free you, my child. God says He knows how much burdens you have carried alone. You try to stay strong. You try to stay calm, you try to keep your faith even on days when your heart feels like it's trembling. You pray silently, hoping God hears you. You ask for signs, for clarity, for reassurance. And heaven says, this is that reassurance. This is the confirmation that God has been listening to every whisper of your soul. This is the confirmation that protection has always been around you. This is the confirmation that the danger never reached you, because God stood between you and anything that wished to harm your peace. Archangel Michael says he saw the moment the energy shifted. He saw the moment someone's intentions changed. He saw the moment the plans were being formed without you knowing. And the spiritual realm acted immediately. The atmosphere moved. Certain people were moved away from you. Certain conversations shifted. Certain paths you were meant to take suddenly changed direction. You may have been confused, but heaven was guiding every step. God says you are being elevated. And with elevation comes exposure, not for you, but for those who had hidden motives. This exposure is happening now because your destiny is entering a new stage. You cannot take certain energies with you. You cannot carry certain people with you. You cannot be surrounded by those who do not carry honest intentions. God is cleaning your circle. God is protecting your name. God is securing your future. My child, this message comes with an instruction: stay calm. Stay prayerful. Stay aligned with peace. Nothing is going wrong. Nothing is falling apart. In fact, everything is falling into its divine place. You are being repositioned under the light of purpose. You are being guided away from things that were not meant for you. And the truth is, you are stepping into a season where everything that was hidden will be revealed, not to scare you, but to strengthen you, to empower you, to prepare you for what God is bringing into your life. God says a blessing is forming behind the scenes. Something beautiful is coming. Something you silently prayed for is being prepared. What the enemy meant for confusion, God is turning into clarity. What was meant to discourage you, God is turning into encouragement. What was meant to shake you, God is turning into a testimony of protection. You are safe. You are guarded. You are surrounded by divine protection. And nothing will go wrong with you. Nothing will touch your peace. Nothing will disrupt your destiny. Because God says, I am with you. I am walking every step with you. I am covering every direction around you. Trust me. Archangel Michael places his hand on your spirit and says, this is serious, but you are safe. What was uncovered will not harm you. What was planned will not reach you. What was whispered against you has been cancelled. Heaven has already handled it, and God ends with this: my child, breathe. Nothing can stand against the one I protect. Trust me. My beloved child, listen with your whole heart, because this moment is not ordinary, it is not casual, and it is not something meant to be scrolled past and forgotten. God says this message is being delivered to you with divine urgency, and Archangel Michael stands beside this message with the full authority of heaven, telling you with a firm and loving voice, I order you to receive this. Do not ignore it. Do not doubt it. Do not delay. Something has been happening in the unseen realm around your life, something you were not supposed to know yet, but because you have been chosen, protected, and covered by God, this truth must reach you before the next phase begins. My child, the situation around you is more serious than you realize. Heaven has watched everything: your tears, your struggles, your fears, your silent prayers, your sleepless nights, your moments of courage when you kept standing even though everything around you tried to break you. God says what seemed ordinary was never ordinary. What seemed like delays were actually divine redirections. What appeared like losses were hidden protections. And what looked like the world trying to crush you was actually heaven preparing to elevate you. But now, heaven wants you to know why the pressure was so intense. Why the path was so heavy, and why recently you felt a strange spiritual heaviness that you could not explain. God says, a secret plot was unfolding against you, and one that now the police and higher authorities are becoming aware of. Something that was whispered in darkness, something planned behind your back, something intended to harm your reputation, your peace, your progress, and your blessings. But before it could grow bigger, before it could hurt you, before it could shake anything in your life, heaven intervened. Archangel Michael says, "You were not supposed to be touched. You were not supposed to fall. You were not supposed to be harmed." And so, heaven stepped in, my child. There is something that was happening behind your name, documents, conversations, hidden intentions, and a plan that someone thought would remain secret forever. There were people who underestimated you, who misjudged your strength, who thought you were alone, who thought you had no spiritual covering. They believed that if they moved quietly enough, you would never know. But God says, the one they tried to trap is the one heaven has chosen to protect. Someone was speaking your name in a way that was not pure. Someone was using your story in a way that was not holy. Someone was trying to manipulate a situation that involved your path, your destiny, your opportunities. Their intention was to cause confusion, cast doubt, create obstacles, and place something dark on your path. This individual believed that if they stayed quiet, no one would notice. They believed that if they disguised their actions, everything would stay hidden, but God says, no darkness survives when I choose to expose it. The truth has already begun to unravel. The people who thought they could hide what they were doing are now being seen. The authorities who were unaware are now receiving signals. The ones who tried to use your name in ways that were harmful are now being watched themselves. Something that was meant to destroy your peace is being destroyed by divine justice instead. Archangel Michael says that this message is your warning and your protection at the same time. You are being informed not so that you panic, but so that you understand that heaven is ahead of every enemy plan. What they prepared in secrecy, heaven is tearing apart. What they tried to plant behind your back is being uprooted. What they tried to use against you is turning back toward them. And what they thought would harm you is becoming the very thing that elevates you. My child, you have no idea how blessed you truly are. You have no idea how many times heaven has prevented things you did not even know about. While you were busy trying to survive your life, heaven was blocking attacks, closing doors that were traps, confusing the steps of your enemies, and dismantling every plan made in darkness. God says, a police investigation is exposing something linked to your name. But do not fear. Do not panic. Do not allow your mind to create negative scenarios. This is not a warning of danger. This is a declaration of victory. No harm will touch you. No false accusation will reach you. No scheme will succeed. You are not the target, you are the protected one. The plot was against you, but the exposure is in your favor. You have been carried by grace in ways you cannot see. You have been surrounded by angels in moments so silent that you thought God was distant. But God was never distant. He was guarding you, guiding you, and preparing something far greater than you can imagine. My child, this year has been spiritually heavy for you. There were days you felt like something was wrong even when you didn't know what it was. There were nights when your mind felt unsettled for no clear reason. There were moments when your intuition told you someone was acting behind your back, but you couldn't explain it. God says, your spirit sensed the attack before your mind understood the truth. You are deeply connected to the spiritual realm, more than you realize. You feel shifts before they materialize. You recognize danger before it appears. You sense dishonesty before it is exposed. You feel energy changes, emotional changes, and spiritual movements with a sensitivity that is divinely given. God says you are not naive, you are gifted. Now, the divine message continues. Archangel Michael has been fighting on your behalf. There were spiritual battles you did not witness, but heaven fought them for you anyway. There were traps being set, but angels stood on every corner. There were intentions against you, but the divine shield around you was stronger than any plot. Someone underestimated the divine hedge around your life. Someone believed that your silence meant weakness. Someone believed that because you stay calm, you have no protection. But God says this person has no idea who you truly are in the eyes of heaven. You are marked. You are chosen. You are guarded. No weapon, physical, emotional, spiritual, or even spoken, will prosper against your destiny. Everything meant to destroy you will transform into the material God uses to elevate you. This message is long because the urgency is real. Heaven does not warn without reason. Heaven does not speak without purpose. God says that this is a moment of awakening for you. You are being pushed into clarity. You are being advanced into a season of revelation. You are being guided toward a new chapter where no hidden darkness can follow. My child, the people who were plotting against you will now face the weight of their own actions. Their names will be revealed, their intentions exposed, and their influence removed. Anyone who tried to interfere with your destiny is now being confronted by spiritual justice. The investigations unfolding are not against you but for you. They are clearing your path, removing blockages, and protecting your future. Archangel Michael says you are safe. You are covered. You are protected. Nothing will go wrong with you because God's hand is over your life. You simply need to trust, to pray, to keep faith, to keep your heart open to God's voice. My child, understand something powerful. God delays nothing without purpose. He exposes nothing without intention. He protects nothing without reason. Everything you are stepping into now is divinely guided. Everything that is leaving your life is making room for something better. Everything that was hidden is being revealed because your next chapter requires clarity, not chaos. God says, you will not fall. You will not be framed. You will not be harmed. You will not lose. You will not be defeated. Every spiritual attack is now collapsing. Every earthly plot is dissolving. Every hidden conversation about you is coming to light. This message is your confirmation. You were meant to receive it today, not yesterday, not tomorrow, but today, because spiritually, something has shifted, and heaven wants your heart to know the truth. You are safe. You are chosen. You are protected. And you are stepping into a new season where no enemy can follow. My child, breathe deeply. Release fear. Release tension. Release doubt. You are covered by God's hand, shielded by Archangel Michael, and surrounded by angels who refuse to let harm come near you. You are safe. You are protected. You are guided. You are blessed, and nothing, absolutely nothing, will go wrong with you because God is with you. My child, God is speaking to you now, and this is not a moment to take lightly. Archangel Michael stands beside you with his sword drawn, and he says with a voice that shakes the unseen realms, I order you to pay attention. This is very serious. Do not ignore this. There is something unfolding behind your back, and heaven has intervened to protect you before it is too late. You need to understand that what you are reading right now did not reach you by accident. It did not appear on your screen because of coincidence. It came because something hidden was uncovered, something that the police themselves have just seen with their own eyes, something that was meant to hurt you but is now being exposed so God can save you. There are forces that have been studying you, watching you, and forming opinions about your life that were never theirs to hold. Someone thought they could manipulate the course of your future by hiding things in the dark, but God says, not my child. Not this one. I will not allow them to be touched. What the police uncovered was not just a mistake. Not just a misunderstanding, but a plan. A plan that had your name on it. A plan that was designed to create fear, confusion, and downfall. But God says no. God says, I am stepping in because your destiny is too important to be tampered with. Your purpose is too powerful. Your future is too blessed. My child, listen carefully. Archangel Michael has been fighting for you for a long time. There were nights when you felt restless without knowing why. There were days when your heart felt heavy even though nothing seemed wrong around you. Those moments were not random. Those were the hours when angels were battling on your behalf, when things in the spirit realm were shaking because someone tried to touch your life. You need to understand that God has been protecting you from things you didn't even know existed. And now, heaven is revealing one of the biggest truths you were not supposed to miss. The police have uncovered a secret plot involving your name. Someone tried to use your identity, your information, or your energy to stir something dangerous. They thought nobody would find out. They thought everything would remain hidden. But God does not allow darkness to stay hidden when it involves one of His chosen ones. Archangel Michael says, the exposure has already begun. What was meant to destroy you is now turning into your protection. You may not realize it yet, but this is divine intervention in its purest form. You may have sensed strange tension recently. People acting differently. A shift in the atmosphere around you. Maybe you felt like someone was thinking or speaking of you behind closed doors. Maybe you felt a sudden intuition, a sudden pull, a sudden awareness that something was not right. That was the Holy Spirit whispering to you. That was heaven trying to give you a sign. And today, the sign has reached you in full clarity. What was hidden has now been exposed. God says, "You are safe. You are mine. Nothing will go wrong with you. Nothing formed against you will prosper." Those who tried to create chaos around you are now stepping into the light of exposure, whether they like it or not. What the police found out will shock you if you could see it, but God says you don't need the details, because heaven has already handled what was meant to harm you. All you need to know is that the danger has been cut off. The plan has been blocked. The forces against you have been stripped of their power. Archangel Michael says the reason this message reached you now is because the timing is crucial. You are stepping into a new chapter, and the enemy attempted one last strike before the breakthrough could manifest. People often see blessings and try to interfere. People sense your rising and look for ways to pull you back. But God says you are not going backward. You are not falling. You are rising, and heaven is ensuring your path remains clear. My child, you are protected more than you realize. God has placed a shield around you that no human hand can break. The police discovering this plot was not a coincidence. It was divine orchestration. Someone tried to involve your name in something you had nothing to do with. Someone tried to speak on your behalf or make decisions about you that were never theirs to make. Someone thought they were clever, but heaven is always 10 steps ahead. There is a reason God waited until now to reveal this. You were not ready before. Your spirit needed to be stronger. Your faith needed to be more rooted. Your heart needed to be steadier. So that when this news reached you, it would not shake you, it would wake you. Wake you into your authority. Wake you into your purpose. Wake you into your protection. God says, you have nothing to fear. I am with you. Pray to me, trust me, and stay calm. You are safe. The truth is, the people behind this hidden plan didn't expect the police to look deeper. They didn't expect the authorities to connect dots. But God touched the eyes of the right person, at the right moment, and suddenly the truth came rising to the surface. What was supposed to go unnoticed became the very thing that brought protection into your life. This is how God works. He turns traps into testimonies. He takes attempts to break you and turns them into moments that build you. My child, pay attention to what you feel as you read this. That tingling inside you, that heaviness lifting, that strange sense of awareness settling into your soul, that is not mere emotion. That is confirmation. That is your spirit recognizing the truth. That is heaven telling you, this message is for you. Don't ignore it. Don't doubt it. You were meant to read this. You may wonder who was involved. You may wonder why someone would do this to you. But God says, do not worry about their identity. I will deal with them. Their intentions will return to them, not to you. Your only responsibility now is to keep your heart pure and your faith strong. Do not let fear in. Do not let anxiety take over. You are not alone in this battle, and you never were. If you could see the spiritual realm right now, you would see Archangel Michael standing tall beside you. His wings are stretched wide, forming a barrier no darkness can penetrate. His sword is bright with the fire of divine justice, and he is declaring over your life, this child is protected. This child is chosen. This child is under my command. No harm will touch them. No danger will find them. No plot will succeed. There is something important you must understand. The exposure that just took place is only the beginning. More truth is going to come out soon. More clarity is going to reach you. More protection is going to surround you. What God has begun, He will complete. The police discovering this was step 1. Heaven handling the rest is step 2. Someone underestimated your spiritual covering. Someone forgot that you are not walking through life alone. Someone misjudged your destiny because they only looked at your circumstances and not your calling. But God says you carry a purpose that intimidates darkness. That is why this happened. That is why someone tried to pull you into something destructive. But heaven's shield was too strong. My child, breathe deeply now. Let peace enter your spirit. God did not reveal this to frighten you. He revealed it to strengthen you. To show you just how protected and chosen you are. To remind you that even when you know nothing about the battles happening behind the scenes, heaven is always fighting for you. You are not vulnerable. You are not unprotected. You are not alone. You are surrounded by divine power. You are wrapped in divine light. You are covered by divine authority, and nothing can remove that protection. God says, watch how I turn this exposure into your breakthrough. Watch how I move people out of your path. Watch how I open doors no one can shut. Watch how I elevate you beyond the reach of those who try to harm you. Your life is about to enter a season of justice, clarity, and protection. The very thing that was supposed to bring chaos will bring calm. The very thing that was supposed to harm you will secure your blessings. You must stay centered in faith. Close your eyes when fear tries to whisper. Pray when confusion tries to rise. Trust when doubt tries to speak. Because heaven is already ahead of you. Heaven has already resolved what the enemy tried to create. Heaven is already lifting you into a higher realm of protection. My child, God says you are safe. Nothing will go wrong with you. Nothing meant to hurt you will succeed. As long as you trust Him and pray to Him, every hidden trap will be exposed before it touches your life. What the police uncovered was the warning sign heaven needed you to see. Now you know. Now you are aware. Now you are spiritually awake. You are chosen. You are protected. You are covered. You are safe, and nothing, absolutely nothing, will change that. my beloved child, God says this is an urgent message only for you, and Archangel Michael stands beside you right now with a seriousness that cannot be ignored. He says, I order you to listen. This is extremely important. Do not delay. Do not doubt. This is for your protection, for your safety, for your peace, and for the divine shield that has been placed over your life. This message comes to you at the exact moment you needed it, at the exact moment when something around you was shifting silently, something you could not see with your eyes. Something that was forming like a shadow behind you. God says He is revealing what was meant to stay hidden. He is exposing what someone tried to cover with lies, fear, and manipulation. And Archangel Michael says with authority, this is serious. Listen now. Do not ignore this warning, because it is coming from the highest realm for your protection. For a long time, there have been forces working quietly behind your back, people whispering, plotting, thinking you would never find out. Someone even tried to misuse your name, your energy, or your destiny for their own selfish gain. And now, the time has come for that plot to be exposed. God says, the police of heaven have already seen everything. Nothing is hidden from me. Nothing escapes my sight. And now I am exposing it so you can walk safely, confidently, and without fear. You have been feeling something heavy in your spirit lately. A strange worry that didn't have a name, a sudden alertness in your heart that you couldn't explain. That was not your imagination. That was the Holy Spirit warning you. That was Archangel Michael trying to get your attention. That was God whispering, be still, I am working, and what was planned against you will never succeed. Someone underestimated the power that surrounds you. Someone assumed you were alone. Someone believed you were easy to target or manipulate. But they failed to see the angels around you, the divine protection over you, and the authority God has given you. Every step you take is being watched over, guarded, protected, and defended by heavenly forces. God says someone tried to create a secret plot involving your name, your life, your peace, or your safety. It looked coordinated, like someone was trying to turn something against you, trying to make you look wrong, trying to make you doubt yourself, or trying to bring confusion around your path. But God stepped in before they could take their next step. God blocked it. God destroyed it. God exposed it before harm could reach you. A spiritual investigation has been happening for weeks. Archangel Michael has been watching those who pretend to stand with you but silently desire your downfall. He saw every message, every whisper, every plan, every attempt to disturb your peace. Heaven has recorded everything. And now the truth is being brought to the surface. The phrase police expose secret plot against you may sound dramatic, but God says this is not to scare you. It is to let you know how much has been happening behind the scenes that you were not aware of. Someone was behaving unfairly. Someone was trying to paint a wrong picture. Someone was gathering information with the wrong intention. Someone thought they could play with your destiny without consequences, but God says, enough. I will not allow my child to be misled, targeted, or harmed. I am stepping in with force. I am exposing the truth. I am removing the mask from the faces that pretended to care. You are protected. You are covered. You are safe. Nothing will go wrong with you. But God wants you to know the truth, not to frighten you, but to strengthen your spirit and awaken your intuition. Archangel Michael says, you are not weak. You are not alone. You are divinely guarded. And anyone who tries to bring trouble to your life will face divine consequences. Every time you felt tired or overwhelmed recently,